It's pretty wild when you think about it, how a single new law can literally create an entire profession out of thin air. One change to the rule book, and suddenly there's a new demand, new risks, and a whole new group of experts needed to sort it all out. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. The story of how one of India's biggest new laws is giving rise to a brand new profession, the independent data auditor.
Now, this definitely didn't happen overnight. I mean, India's journey to get a solid data protection law was a real marathon, stretching back almost 2 decades. You had early bills that just fizzled out, then a huge turning point in 2017 when the Supreme Court made privacy a fundamental right. After that, a few more drafts came and went, but finally, the dust settled with the passage of the Digital Personal Data Protection Act in 2023 and the rules in 2025. This was the moment that set the stage for everything to change.
All right, so let's start with the thing that kicked this all off. In our first section, we're going to look at India's new data rules and how they really created a whole new era of responsibility. The Digital Personal Data Protection Act of 2023, you'll hear it called the DPDPA, wasn't just some small update. No, this was a genuine game changer for any business in India that touches personal data. And let's be real, in our world, that's pretty much every single business, right? The law introduced this key term, the data fiduciary. Now, I know it sounds a little legalistic, but the idea is actually super simple. If your company collects personal data and gets to decide why you're collecting it and how you're going to use it, boom, you're a data fiduciary. It doesn't matter if you're a tiny startup or a massive global company. And getting that new title came with a huge new weight. Suddenly, these data fiduciaries had this immense, legally binding responsibility to protect the interests of us, the individuals, who the law calls data principals. The entire focus just flipped. It wasn't about what the company wanted anymore. It was about being a guardian of the individual's data. So that brings us to Section 2. Because with thousands of companies now on the hook for protecting our data, a massive question popped up. How do we actually know they're doing what they're supposed to do? This created a huge, urgent need for trust and, maybe even more important, for verification. And with these new rules in place, the thinking was pretty clear. The time had officially come to create these guardians of accountability, a whole new role for people who could step in and independently check if companies were truly living up to their new duties. So why the big rush? Well, just look at the pressure cooker that was created. You've got literally thousands of companies staring down brand new legal duties. The fines for messing up are significant. So, of course, the market demand for someone to provide independent verification just exploded. The old-school security audits just weren't going to cut it for these new, complex data governance rules. To answer this call, an organization called the Foundation of Data Protection Professionals in India, or FDPPI, really stepped up. And they have this really cool way of thinking about themselves, like a banyan tree, with a strong central trunk that's designed to support new, independent branches that grow out and strengthen the whole ecosystem. It's the perfect metaphor for what they did next. And that perfect setup leads us right here to Section 3, enter AIDAI. This is the solution that grew directly from that need, a professional body custom-built for an entirely new profession. And here it is, the Association of Independent Data Auditors of India, or AIDAI. This is the organization that was created for one specific purpose, to be the home, the standard bearer for these new guardians of accountability. So what exactly is AIDAI? Well, think of it as the national platform for this new kind of auditor. And what's really crucial here is that it's a community that's actually recognized under the DPDPA law itself. Right now, it's technically a division of its parent, FDPPI, but its mission is crystal clear: to make India's entire data protection world stronger and more trustworthy. Okay, now for Section 4, because this is where the strategy gets really smart. AIDAI isn't just making up a new job title. No, it's creating a totally new kind of auditor by bringing a bunch of different skills together under one roof. Their whole vision is to be what they call a convergence platform. And honestly, it's a genius idea. Instead of trying to build this entire profession from scratch, they're bringing together experts who are already in the trenches, people who already deal with auditing and data, just from different angles. And this breaks down exactly how they're doing it. First, they start with the pros, who already get the audit mindset. Think information security auditors. Then they open the doors and invite experts from totally different but super relevant fields, like chartered accountants, company secretaries, you name it. And the final crucial step is to bring them all together and unify them under one new professional standard for what a real data audit actually is.
The whole point is that they recognize these professionals already have incredibly valuable, deep experience in the discipline of auditing. So the goal is to take that rock-solid foundation and just apply it to the brand new challenges of data governance that the DPDPA created. It's about combining the old and the new.
So where is this all heading? That brings us to our final section, the future of data audit, and really why this matters for every single business out there.
This right here, this is the analogy that makes the whole thing click. For years, we've all just accepted that a company's financial health, its financial governance, has to be checked by a statutory financial auditor. It's just standard practice. The vision is to make data governance exactly the same, something that will be verified by an independent data auditor. It's that simple and that powerful.
And listen, this isn't just talk. AIDAI is actually building the whole infrastructure to make this a reality. They're creating a program to classify auditors based on their experience, a certification system to train the next generation, a platform to connect those auditors with the businesses that need them, and even a process for handling disputes. They're building the whole shebang. And this quote just nails it. The absolute core principle of all of this is independence. Think about it. The only reason we trust a financial audit is because the auditor is independent of the company. That same level of integrity has to apply here. That independence is the bedrock of trust for this entire new system. So that leaves us with one last, really fascinating question to chew on. When you think about the legal risks, the new responsibilities, and the sheer market demand, are we watching a new standard being born right before our eyes? Will asking to see a company's data audit soon be as normal and as necessary as asking to see its financial one? It sure seems like the guardians of accountability are here, and they are ready to roll.